The Jubilee Challenge Cup down at the start. York City Rowing Club on the Berkshire Station and St Edward's School Boat Club on the Buckinghamshire Station. Both crews are juniors, despite one being a school, one being a club. Both crews attacking here off the start. So the York City crew on your right here was seeded, and St Edward's crew yesterday had to race against Reading Rowing Club, which they won easily. But here seem to be doing a clean job here at St Edward's School.
So Edward's School crew, really racy, aren't they? They've been piling it in along the way. You can see they're really leaning on those oars. That Burl girl, lovely shot there from behind, putting those oars in and really leaning with all of her strength. So opening up that body, making sure that she's getting the leverage. It's all about levering, using your oars as lever. That's the physics side. For Tim Della was talking about the scientists involved in this sport. That's the biomechanics side, and you can really see them levering on those oars, making sure that they move the boat past each stroke as much as they can. They're doing that slightly more efficiently, slightly more powerfully than the York City Rowing Club crew.
Yeah, the St Edward's School crew is coached by Natasha Townsend, who actually rowed with Jess Eddy and Katie Greaves.
Absolutely.
And so they've got an inspirational woman coaching their crew up at St Edward's. The York City crew, it's been a big group of junior girls over 28-19, and this crew has evolved from that.
So they're in the semi-final. They got to the semi-final of the junior quads at Henley Women's Regatta. They were 6th at Marlow Regatta in the junior 18 quads, and 9th at Nat School's Regatta in championship quads. So they've had some really strong experience that's been part of that, and yeah, Natasha Townsend will have made sure they know how to race, they know how to have a race plan. And it's so impressive, not just the technique and motivation, but the fact that these girls are really have a kind of coherent race plan. They're following, they're calling, they're adjusting. They're learning so many skills besides rowing out here, and I'm always so impressed by both the student girls and student boys that we see in the respective events.
And essentially, what do you think the impact's going to be now that this regatta is over a month later than normal? All these schools, juniors, have actually carried on training for an extra 5 or 6 weeks compared to a normal year. They're only going to have a few weeks off, start the next season. They're going to be fitter next year, aren't they?
They are going to be fitter. It's going to be really important they do have some time off, just for that sort of prevention of injuries and relaxation and switching off. Of course, well, this whole last season has been such a different shape to normal that actually getting out and racing, I think, will also mean they've got a real hunger going into the next term, which will be great. And the coaches as well. The coaches have loved having opportunities to race and see what their crews can do. So we're seeing that real spirit that I think will carry on into the winter of racing.
Yeah, and it's been really fascinating that a lot of the junior athletes who are at the top of the pecking order, who had the opportunity to go to the Junior Worlds, even though the British team has decided not to go, so many of them actually chose to row with their school friends instead of do international rowing this year because of what they've done.
Yeah, and that just shows the strength of that community, the connection you have with your crewmates, with those that you train with day in, day out through the winter, and you can see that. It's a great crew at St Edward's. They bonded well. Natasha Townsend has done a great job with them. They're really kind of quite fiery racers. I like the sort of style. They're attacking the stroke, but also in a very controlled way. They controlled their race yesterday. They had a sort of lead of a length by the quarter-mile mark, extended it 3 lengths at Forley, controlled it, and they've done, a pretty similar job today, which they should be really proud of.
Yeah, looking at the crews there, the York City crew, actually really good technique. It just looks like this mildly underpowered compared to St Edward's, but really sculling nicely.
I think that's right. They've been based around a really successful junior 16 quad in 2018, 2019, and it's got some good experience here around Nat schools over the last few years. So really impressive as well. I really think that they've got great technique happening. They've got that attack. They're thinking, they're making decisions, they're putting in pushes. They just haven't got that travel per stroke, that power per stroke. That's slightly longer. The catches are going in just slightly quicker, and at full reach in the St Edward's crew. And over the track, that counts. Really impressive row from them.
Yeah, really done very well here as both crews come into the last 100 metres. The St Edward's school there, really uniform blade work. Nice comfortable rhythm, and they'll live to fight another day tomorrow. Nice picture there, York City Rowing Club still attacking into the last 100 metres. As we come to the finish, it's St Edward's School Boat Club across the line, beating York City Rowing Club by clear water. And here a picture of the St Edward's winning crew winding down.